Now, I don't want to get too much into this and toot my own horn, but I've been invited to a cookout or two.
Have you?
I actually have. Can I tell you this? I probably wouldn't say if I wasn't so comfortable with you. Which I shouldn't even be that comfortable with you. I don't know why I've always had a comfort with you.
I feel like I'm a person where you can just talk to me.
You know what? I guess I knew you before I knew you because my little sister Yehuda has always been your biggest fan.
And I made a video for her, right?
Yes. Yeah. And she, by the way, loves your necklace.
Thank you. It was a topic of discussion at a show we did.
Yeah, she's very happy for you.
Tell her thank you.
Yes. Shout out to Yehuda. And here it is. It's happening for you. But this was the first Juneteenth. I'm sharing this story. I didn't know of Juneteenth, but I was living in after a big breakup I had like 6 years ago or 5 years ago. 6 is 5. I decided to move. I decided I'm just gonna get a little studio with one chair. And I'm just not like, I'm just going to stack the money. Like, I'm just not going to.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like paying for this girl. Like, I was paying a ton of rent. I was working in New York. I was paying that rent. I said, you know what? We're doing nil on rent. I'm going to pay like $1,200. I'm going to live in one room. And that way, I can't even have people over. I just have one chair. Now, it's a reclining chair. It's my couch. It's my chair. But it's one. It's not for company.
So it's just a recliner?
It's a recliner.
Okay.
So I had my bed and I had a recliner.
Have you seen the movie Trap?
No.
Josh Hartnett plays a murderer. And he, too, had a studio with just a chair in it.
Just a chair.
So he could think about his murders.
By the way, the chair was amazing from West Elm. It looked like a nice, it wasn't lazy boy recliner. I elevated.
Okay.
Because I said, if I'm only going to have one chair, I don't have to spend on all these furniture. I'm going to buy a nice chair. Living on top of me was this girl, Kim, who's an amazing writer. Shout out to Kim. And she was living with a gay dude. We won't shout him out.
Yeah, boo.
Yeah, and she was living on top of me, and we kind of became friendly. She's was queer. She came out to me. She presents more feminine. So I felt like, then she was like, Robby, I want you to meet my partner. And it was a dyke. And I said, I see you, Kim. And Kim is Black. And Kim for Juneteenth, which was the first time, it was 2020. So we shut down.
Yes.
Juneteenth was a big deal in 2020. I felt like more was made of it because it was after, a lot of exposure, obviously, of the climate. But I think it was the first time it was recognized, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was a year before.
Yeah, I think that was the year they're like, it's now a federal holiday.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, they were like, well, this is not what we asked for, but okay.
So, but it was still COVID-ish. It was in the summer, so it was a few months after, and you still had to kind of distance. And you could kind of see me in it. You kind of see me in the window. And I see Kim's feet coming down because her stairs were right there, to her car. And she's like, by the way, just so you know, there's going to be a big, cookout, people bringing different things. And this is not typical, but you're welcome to come. And I didn't really want to intrude. So then I was home and there was 50 Black people in my front yard. Which we shared as one of these houses that's broken down. And I was in the hovel space. And, but she really insisted. And she came to my apartment. She said, there's food and everything. And the food was phenomenal. And then I ended up, before I know it, I'm having the best time at the Juneteenth, cookout and eating. I feel bad. I didn't bring anything, but everybody saw how I was living. I didn't even have a real kitchen. I had a hot plate. It was not
a hot plate.
I had a hot plate that you would bring out if I wanted to make a steak or something.
You made steaks on a hot plate?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the videos of a man who he'll make spaghetti in his toilet?
No.
It's really upsetting.
That's really upsetting. This is a clean hot plate.
He'll fill a sink with water and put a heater in it and boil things in his sink.
Why?
I don't know.
Everything was nice in my hovel. I just want to be very clear. It was as if this room was your apartment.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But,
yes.
But much lower ceilings.
Much lower ceilings?
Yeah.
Were you in a basement?
Yeah, it was a basement.
Oh my God.
It was a basement.
How long did you live there?
I lived a year and a half, 2 years.
Well, let's start this episode.
Okay, great. Well, anyway, so...
Wait, what did you eat at the cookout?
I ate everything. Tons of meats.
Okay.
And different macaroni salads. I had
Was
beers.
there mac and cheese there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A bunch of different types of things like that, which I enjoy. And I brought flowers was really the only thing. I didn't make anything, but and the desserts were good and the conversation was terrific. But I haven't been back to it. But this is all to say that I'd love an invite.
Okay.
To the summer cookout. Okay. I understand where it's not appropriate for me to be there.
No, you can come.
Spaces are spaces, but now I can make something. I'm equipped
What can
with
you
the
make?
kitchen. I'm just saying I could make something.
What can you make?
I'll make, I can make guacamole.
Okay.
Okay. I can make steak and salad. I can make crab legs.
You're going to bring steak and salad to a cookout?
If you want it.
I'll take it. So the person you're listening to is a hilarious comedian who's named one of Vulture's comedians you should know. She's written for shows like The Chris Gethard Show, The Baroness von Sketch Show, and you can hear her on her own podcast called Too Far.
New York Times calls it addictive.
Oh, well, do a little at a time so you don't OD. I'm thrilled she's here. It's Robby Hoffman.
I love you so much.
I love you, Robby. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is a big one for me.
Wait, so did you date when you were younger or when did you start dating?
I had my first girlfriend when I was 17.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't date. I gave hand jobs and I was very slutty in that way and like a Jewish school slutty. Because here's the thing. I was the poor kid at this great, amazing school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a huge privilege that I went to this like private Jewish school that was like $1 million a year and I went on subsidy. So that's what really highlighted how poor I was that there was so many rich Jews. And then it started like dawning on me, like, how do you even get born poor and Jewish anymore? Like everything was like, it felt so random. It felt like Final Destination. It's like Jews haven't been that poor for a while now. Like I felt like, but of course the religious, it's different, but they are having all those kids. Like, it's a little bit their fault. It's a little bit this, whatever. When you're poor and you don't have like the clothes and stuff, like I remember free dress day. I was the kind of kid that said, "Oh, I forgot it was free dress day. I wore my uniform just because I didn't have you didn't
have like the newest, latest shit.
Yeah, I didn't have like Miss 60 jeans. Like my best friend sat me down when I was like in 9th grade, and she was like, "You're bringing down the group. You need a pair of Miss 60s."
You're bringing down the group.
This is what she told me. You're bringing down the group. You need to wear a purse, like a bag,
like a little Coach bag.
Yeah, like I got one from Levi's.
Okay.
And it was like, it was like, by the way, there were signs. It was green corduroy. But anyway. And, but she didn't want me to use a backpack anymore. I had to use this thing. But I'm like, but it's so heavy. Like on one shoulder, like I can't. But she's like, I don't care what it is. You put it in there. Okay. So this happened. But then free dress day. So I would always come. But I did bring the topics.
The topics?
Like I brought like hot, the tea, and I was good at talking. Like I brought like the hot topics.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? So you contributed in a different way to the group.
Yeah. Like my friends, like, like I remember we went out when we were like 17 or 18. Yeah, they paid maybe for the cab or whatever. These people got allowance, and so we got a cab.
These people.
Yeah, and we went.
These people got allowance.
We went like downtown, and we were at this place, this really fancy hotel, where all these hockey players would like go and drink on their off nights or something. And we would go without. Yeah, we would sneak in. We're like, can you believe they let us in? It's like, yeah, 8 slutty girls, like, who are like 17. I'm like, we got in, like, as if it's a win. Like, these are all pedophiles.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yes, it is wild when you're like a teen and you're like, I can't believe they let me in. It's like, of course they did.
Yeah, and I remember actually our friend John, who was like, had a car or something, came with us once, and they didn't let him in, but they let all of us in.
Of course.
And they said it was his shoes. And I'm like, I was like, wow, those shoes. And it's like, no, clearly they don't want John there.
Yeah, they don't want men in there. There's enough men. So, but I would be the one in the group. So I had no money for drinks. But I'm like, girls, we are drinking first round for free. I would go up to literally table. And I'm telling you, at these places, like Justin Trudeau was there and like hockey players. Like it was like
a
the
scene.
creme de la creme of
It
Canada.
really was the creme de la creme of Canada. So they had an inn. They would put us on a list, whatever. And I would go, I'd be like, fellas, what are we drinking? I would like go to the tables that had
17, you had game.
Yeah, that had like the bottles, the Grey Goose and the girl there all night. Like I would be like, what are we drinking? And we'd all be sitting in a separate carafe for the orange juice. I mean, like the whole scene.
What, table service? What is it called?
Yeah, table
we got
service.
a table.
Yeah, table service. So we, sure. And I'm like, I have some friends. It's like, well, sure. These are 40-year-old pedophiles. And we're sitting there. So it was just, I made sure I earned my stay.
I don't have any money, but I can get us drinks.
I'm going to get us dick. I'm going to get us drinks. I was very fine about that.
So you were a madam?
Yeah. I'd be like, what do you like? I was literally like, I just didn't care.
Wait, that's so wild. I really love this side of you.
Thank you.
And then when you were in Montreal and you were like running around getting dick and stuff, were you on the low dating women or were you like bi?
Yeah, so I guess I had my first girlfriend at like 17 or 18. I was very secret. And then I was out. And then I wanted to sleep with a guy like just in case. Then I like wasn't, I'm like, well, this is a big decision. Now. You got to, because I thought even as a kid, like, well, if you ever want a tattoo, you wait a year. These aren't willy-nilly things.
Very pragmatic. I think I'm using that correctly.
Thank you. And then like, with my top surgery, I remember I wanted that, I was like, well, tattoo, you wait a year. Top surgery, we're waiting too. So I make these like rules for myself. So the same with gay. I'm like, well, let's hold
the horses.
This is the rest of your life, Rob. You're 17 years old. What do you know?
You can't go back.
Yeah, you're not like, you could still marry rich. These guys, like you could have what you wanted, which was at the time really not to do much. If I could get away with doing nothing and being rich was a real...
A nice dream.
It was a very big dream. And I was getting rich boys.
Oh.
The boys into me were these rich Jews who were like, I was bringing all the like fun convo. I was hot, whatever. I got along with their parents, and I
was hot, whatever.
No, but like literally, I was using everything. Like the only thing I didn't have was money, which was judged at that point. I remember this guy, Ryan, was like, I was close enough to him. He dropped me off at my mother's house and he's like, this is your mother's house?
Oh my God. He said it out loud?
He said it out loud.
That's fucked up.
He said it out loud.
That's an inside thought. That's something you keep on the inside.
No,
but
it
just
really,
don't judge somebody's house.
Feel that something changed in his feelings for me. And it made me feel like I needed rich people. Like I, you know what I mean? And so we're not friends anymore. But for the longest time I thought, well, he would always say things like, who's going to do this for you? Who's going to do that? And then I started realizing, well, I'm probably going to have to do it for myself because I can't take that sort of heaviness.
That's like Cher. Cher was like, I don't know. Somebody said something about her marrying a rich guy and she was like, I am the rich man, mother. I think her mom asked her that. And you are your own rich man.
I am. We're getting there. So yeah, so I dated and I slept with him. I decided to sleep with him, but it was
even though he was mean to you. You're like,
so this was before I think I started losing like my luster on him because he was also really smart, which I've always liked. Like my favorite type of men are very smart men. This is so I'm like, but he's really smart. I really like, for some reason, I like when a guy is really smart, which of course sounds obvious, but I don't know that. And I not that I find it surprising when they are, but it feels like of an older sense of a man, like somebody who's just really smart, but they don't really have much else. I mean, he was rich too, but it's like, I don't know. I let them get away with murder, I guess, if they're really like, I thought he was like, so anyway, so I decided one day we should have sex.
And he was like
naked 3 seconds later.
He's like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah. And he was like really lanky and, he was like 6'2" and 12 pounds and, and he was like skinnier than me and I was skinny and the whole thing. I was like, never mind, get dressed. I regret the whole thing. And he's like, okay, he's like shuffling back, getting dressed. And then I come back later.
Wait, did you say I regret the whole thing?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Because you're standing there naked, like the lights. I'm like, there's no like, the whole thing turned me off. But then my sister was like, you just have to push through.
Huh?
Yeah, my sister was like, my older sister was like, you really just have to push through if you want to have sex. It's going to be bad for a while. We'll just do it a bunch and then see how you feel.
It's going to be bad for a while.
Yeah, it'll hurt.
Okay.
So anyway, so then I decide we're going to have sex. So I'm like, okay, let's really do it. So he's on top of me and 2-3 thrusts in. I said, get off of me. Get off of me. And we woke up in the morning. I said, your armpit hair, the whole thing was throwing me off. I didn't like the proximity. It's like on top of me, but the tuft of armpit hair is still to this day so impossible for me to get over that I don't even remember anything else about it. And then the next morning, so I was like, yeah, I'm really unattracted to you. And then he said, Rivka, which is my given name. He said, Rivka, we have an undeniable sexual chemistry.
And wait, how old are you?
We're like 21 by here.
Okay. We have an undeniable sexual chemistry.
Like,
and you were like,
there?
I don't like this.
No, I
don't want this.
It was maybe 3 pumps.
Oh, boy.
Undeniable sexual chemistry.
And what did you say? What did you say to him?
I was just like, I'm gay.
Did you come out to your mom?
I did.
What did she say? Did she go, I knew?
No, she was fine. I was outed, and I just talked about this. I won't rehash, but I was outed, and then I found like I felt like my siblings might go home. I was more outed socially first, like
sure.
my class and stuff knew about it, or people I went to school with, and so I kind of ran home. I was living on my own at the time. I was probably 17 or 18, and I kind of went to my mom's, and I was like, "Ma, I have a girlfriend. She's blonde." And she was like, does she want to come for Shabbos? I'm like, nobody wants to come here. And she was very, very good. Now she's Jews for Jesus, so she's homophobic again. But she had a good window. Sometimes you
gotta complete a circle.
Yeah, she had a good window when she wasn't.
Jews for Jesus?
Yeah.
Well, don't Jews believe that Jesus existed?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Yeshua. We just don't know. Judaism doesn't have defined like this is God, this isn't God, this is never mind a narrative. This is God's stepmother, this is his son, this is we think it's all possible. We just we don't have these defined versions. We think that they were a good people, but we don't have saints or an elevation of people or kings or things like that. We did have leaders like King David and stuff, but they were more so like community leaders or something. We just don't have that hierarchy of like sainthood or bishops, or every person can be as special as the next person.
Have you read the Torah?
Yeah.
Like front to back?
Probably a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
I grew up in the church, and I've never read the Bible front to back. That shit is hard.
We had a class called Tanakh where we just went through it. So I think you went through it like every year in school.
Oh my God.
Chapters.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. But like each chapter takes like, even 2 lines could be like, well, what does this word mean? And God put this. And he would have put the plural, but you'll notice he put it in the singular. And what does that tell us? This was my class. Like,
that's wild.
Like it would be like, and the Jew is like a diamond. It may look rough. It may be bent out of shape. But underneath is a neshama, is a soul. And it's like, where are we going with this? Like, you're like 14 sitting in this Tanakh class. Like, what is going on with this?
What is this? Wait, that's funny. Robby, we have to take a break.
Let's do it.
Today's episode is brought to you by Alma. Let's talk therapy, baby. I've been in and out for years and years and years. And girl, finding the right therapist used to feel like dating, swiping through profiles, ghosting after one session, wondering if I'm just too much for them. Finding support for mental health challenges can be lonely, but you don't have to go at it alone. Take a break from scrolling and use Alma's directory to find a therapist who meets your specific needs. Their directory has over 20,000 therapists, and you can filter by exactly what matters: gender, race, insurance, even just vibes. Want someone who specializes in anxiety and shares your cultural background? Alma's gotcha. Need an in-person or virtual? They got that too. And get this, 97% of Alma's therapists take insurance: United, Aetna, Cigna, you name it. So you're not paying out-of-pocket prices that would make your wallet boo-hoo-hoo. Plus, you could book free 15-minute consults to find your therapist match. No more settling for the first person who's available. Better with people. Better with Alma. Visit helloalma.com/dateme to get started and schedule a free consultation today. That's helloalma.com/dateme. Don't we all deserve a little romance? Even if it's just on our headphones? Ooh, baby, yes, we do. That's where Dipsea comes in, the female-founded app made by women for the female gaze, with short, spicy audiobooks designed to give you exactly what you want. And trust me, these stories go there. We're talking over 1,000 steamy audiobooks, professionally written and narrated by some of the sexiest voices you've ever heard. Whether you're in the mood for a brooding billionaire, a rugged cowboy, or a Scottish sailor whispering filthy things in your ear, Dipsea has it all with their easy-to-explore app. You can search for your favorite romance genres like contemporary, historical, dark, sports, western, romantasy, sapphic, and more. New chapters are released every week, so there's always something fresh for you to devour. And right now, you can get 30 days of full access for free. Right now, listeners of this show can get an extended 30-day free trial. Just go to dipseastories.com/dateme to start your free trial. That's DIPSEA stories.com/dateme for 30 days of full access for free. Visit dipseastories.com/dateme. Robby, we're back.
Oh.
Okay. So when you're dating, what is like one of the worst dates you've been on?
The worst date I had. And by the way, I will leave a bad date. And it is not personal. I went out with somebody who, profile alone. This is one of my first, so not an app date, but before apps, whatever.
Okay.
I'm probably like 20. I don't even know. And
so what is this, like eHarmony? You're on the internet?
It was like Plenty of Fish.
Okay.
And just single profile. I get to the date. She's married. She's in they're like, but she's allowed to.
They're open.
They're open. And she's married. Is that going to be a problem? Like, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, because you didn't state that.
Yeah.
And now I've come out here. I've taken the metro. I bought you a drink. It's like, now I'm $20 in the hole. I've taken the metro here and you're married. So yeah, it's going to be a problem because it's fucking freezing outside. And then the drink finishes and she goes, you like to stay for another one? I'm like, no.
Did you say this out loud? You're like, no, I simply don't want to.
I said, I don't feel there's a connection here and I will be disengaging from this date.
Okay.
And good luck with your husband and whatever else.
Yeah, I think that's something you disclose. You have to say, now I'm married and we're open.
Now they do say that. But it's like, at the time, it's like, I hope that's not going to be a problem. She made it seem like casual. It's like, no. It's a massive problem. I'm already here.
Yeah, I mean.
Heads up. I'm on the subway 40 minutes. It's -20 outside. I've taken cash out of the ATM for this cash-only fakakta fucking bar. And now you're like, it's obscene.
It is fucked up. I'm sorry, Robby.
So, yeah. So just as upfront as you can be.
I think so.
If you're online dating, give a profile. If you have a dog, put it in there. Why not? You don't know if the dog's going to be. You have a cat, hold it up. I'm just saying. You have a husband, hold it up.
Hold up that husband.
Right? Anything that might affect the other person. Anything that forces the other person into a new relationship.
I think that's smart.
It's a matter of consent.
I would like to hear more about your dates.
Okay, so that's that.
Okay, have you ever had chuckle fuckers? Like you start doing stand-up and then women start throwing themselves at you. They're like, oh my God, Robby, you're so fucking funny. This, that, and the other. I want to get with you.
This doesn't happen to women.
Yes.
This is like, this happens to dude
Yes.
comics.
Yes, I know. But like every now and again, I'll meet a lady who's like, yeah, it's happened. But very few.
Yeah. First of all, I don't look approachable.
No, what?
I am approachable. No, but people after they see me on stage, where I get out the most of my angst, I don't think I read approachable, which is very good for me.
Mm-hmm.
But so no, I don't have that a ton. That said, it certainly helps in my love life to have the I hate the word chuckle. You must too. Isn't it just
chuckle? Tee hee hee, da ba 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 chuckle. I don't
just
mind
for
it.
us to be funny, it's helpful for us.
Yes.
It's certainly helpful. But you got to use whatever you have. So yeah. I don't know.
How did you meet your current partner?
I met her outside.
What?
I met her. So
just outside.
No, I was catching up with a friend at the end of the night, and then we went outside to bum a cigarette, and then there wasn't really anyone there, and she was standing right on the curb with a few friends, and one of the friends was looking at me like a dyke looking, it was kind of a queer space, and like a masculine kind of dyke was looking at me, and I was like, we really should go, because I'm not gay like that.
What do you mean?
Like dyke to dyke, like mask to mask, like I'm not. I don't do the mask for mask. Like that's real gay. Like the only thing that would make me feel gay. Like I don't feel gay. Like I look like this, and Gabby looks like her. Like basically, it's the boy one, kind of the girl one. Like
the boy one and the girl one.
Yeah, it's like we live a very almost a heteronormative lifestyle.
Okay.
Like basically. The only gay thing about me is that I'm gay. But other than that, I'm not even gay.
The only gay thing about me is I fuck women and I'm a woman.
Yeah. The only thing that would make me feel gay is when like a mask like this, like a dyke, another like butchy lesbian. Because I'm like, what am I, fucking gay? Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? But that's, that exists in the scene, and I wish him well. The real gays. I consider you guys the real gays. So she was coming up to me. I'm like, oh, no. But miracle sent by God above. This dyke recognized me for my stand-up, which was starting to happen a little bit, but never in opportune times. It happens when I'm like alone on the street outside the CVS. It's like, nobody saw this. This is going nowhere. It's not helpful. Okay? But I get spotted. Go, I'm just a big fan of your stand-up. Within earshot of Gabby. At this point, I've clocked and looked at.
Yes.
And
I'm into.
I'm going, one of these things doesn't belong here. We're at this like queer dyke, bar. I'm like, so I'm like, forget you. I'm like, thank you so much. I'm elevating, I'm making it as loud as possible.
Yes.
Yeah,
drawing
show
attention
you
to yourself.
Oh, it was out.
Peacocking a little.
Yeah, which joke in particular resonated?
What specific joke is your favorite?
Yeah. And so I go, well, never mind you. Who's that? And they go, oh, it's a bachelor. And I was
never
like,
mind you.
I was like, the bachelor's gay.
And
they were like, no, whatever. She's exploring. And I was like, well, how old are you? And she was like 32. I'm like, exploring. What are you, Dora the Explorer? What are you, 16? It's over. You're 32.
It's over.
So then I just, I said, I don't want to mince words. I don't want to, I know you're leaving. Their Uber was coming or whatever. I was like, I got to get your number and take you out. I'll be back next week. And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you out. And we had a very good banter. And her friend was like, and the first question, so I said exploring, and then she was like, yeah, I'm kind of exploring. She's like in these Daisy Dukes and whatever. And I'm like, and then I was like, do you come for money or? And then that's my second question, because I really have considered, after dating, my advice to people is like, date within your class, not current class necessarily, but how you grew up. Like, to me, that's like dating outside of the faith.
Okay.
Like, it's like how you grew up, because money is such the current religion, or the current unfortunate reality of the world that we're living in, it permeates every facet of your life. So it's one of those things that is like religion. That is like if somebody wakes up and prays, or, it's so fundamental to all of your interactions and transactions and everything. So when I dated like rich girls in the past, there's always been kind of a hiccup, even if I've had more money than them in the current. But because they grew up with money, there's a different lifestyle,
an inherent different way of acting.
Yeah, like sometimes, okay, I don't want to spend $7.99 on raspberries. I understand I have the money in the account, but that is a price that is too far for me at this current. That's just not something I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Okay, it doesn't mean just because the money's there. It's that I don't find that value. It doesn't mean I won't spend, but hiccups like that are kind of with you throughout your life of whatever. If we all have different relationships to money. So she thankfully was like, well, I don't know. I grew up on the military. I'm like, say no more. And I was like, I really, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you out. And then her friend was like, I'll give you her number, because her friend was a fan of mine, friends with her. And I said, I'm not taking nothing from you. I'm getting it from the source. I'm testing the number right now. So I text her, Robby Hoffman. She gets it. I go, the response would be nice. And she hits me with the Gabby. And then I was back. It's funny. I was with Adam Friedland. I was like I was feeling like low on money or something that month. It was like, I was like, Adam, can I open for you on tour or whatever? He's like, all right, which dates? I'm like, will you pay for my room?
Will you fly me out?
Yeah.
Can I have an Uber?
And he did. But the whole time I was like, it'll be fun. We'll hang out. And I'm like, with a mask? He's like, why are you wearing this mask? Why won't you hang? He's like, why can't we watch a movie? I'm like, I can't hang out with you. Holy, because I didn't want to get COVID.
Yes, because you had a mission. You had to get back home.
Yeah, there was
and go
a
out
big
with Gabby.
COVID. Yeah, because I had to go home. And he's like, what did you book? She books. Robby Hoffman books. I'm like, this is better than any booking you could think of. And I took her out. I got the car detailed, cleaned, and I picked her up.
Is this your current car or your old car?
This is my current car.
Oh.
Which is also an old car from 2007.
It's still a Porsche.
It is. That's what I tell people. You can judge my Porsche. It's a Porsche.
It's a Porsche.
Okay, $13,000, and it's a fun car. And
it is a fun car.
And I don't have a car payment. You guys are leasing your $30K Kias for $350 a month. It's ridiculous. I'm passing you on the freeway, no problem. They got $350 a month on this Kia. It doesn't get any better.
Where did you go on your first date?
We went to a restaurant called Mother Wolf, which
I like it. You don't like it? What did you get? Have you had the branzino?
It was a Monday night.
Okay.
There's nothing really on Monday night. A lot of cuisine that I like. A lot of Asian is closed. So I couldn't bring her to okay. Takes the French restaurant near me is closed. There's a lot closed on Monday. So I wasn't really in my spaces. Like I like to know the restaurant, Yes. And there's only a couple that I have that I'm like comfortable. So this is like my friend. This is my friend Kathleen. Shout out to Kathleen Monroe, who's the lead of Law and Order Toronto now. Booked a huge gig and just killing it in the face of Canada, really. But I called her to make my reservation because I never get good with these reservations on the call, and I want a good table. I said, the corner table, something. And whenever I asked, they're like, well, we can't make any promises. Like, just promise me. I said, why can't you make promises?
It's Monday.
What do you do? So Kathleen called and I was like, so she's like, I have her as, I'm like, but you have to make sure it's under my name. It can't be under Kathleen. There's no way I can show up and the reso is under Kathleen. There's no explaining that.
You could just be like, my friend made the reservation.
You can't to a girl.
Or my assistant made the reservation.
She would say, who's Kathleen?
Oh, I see.
To a girl, they don't like any other girl name. If I said Michael, if I said anything, it would be fine. It's a 2 for Kathleen. It's not good.
No.
You don't want to start on a hiccup.
No.
Make things as smooth as possible. Make sure you have a good reservation. Wash the car. Pick up. And that's it,
Wait, that's wild that you picked her up on the first date.
Mhm.
I don't let people pick me up.
Well, maybe for the right guy you would.
You gotta meet at the location so then I have an out, because I feel like if you brought me, you have to take me.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it's rude if you brought me and then I decide to be taken by an Uber or something.
Sure, but you're allowed to be rude.
That is nice, Robby.
Mhm.
How was dinner? What did you
It
get?
was excellent. So the food was good. I do think it's very overpriced. I really, really do. I really don't think a glass of wine should be the cost of a bottle. I don't care what restaurant. I don't think it should be $18. It's not even a thing. It's just, you guys, it's egregious.
Well, they have to pay for rent and stuff, and they have to pay for the staff.
Yeah, but we're paying the staff because we're paying the tip and the extra service fee for the staff that the restaurant is not paying for the staff. They're putting it on us. If they did tell me that they were paying the staff and we didn't have another 5% service charge there for the staff, and they tell you it's so they can have proper wages, you do that. You do that. I just paid $18.
It is wild that servers get paid like $2 an hour.
Exactly. They should have minimum wage plus tips.
They should.
Yeah.
Or more than minimum wage.
Exactly.
So we can eliminate tipping.
Yeah.
Did you know that stems from racism?
I do.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, no, I got a lot of flack for this, but it absolutely stems from racism because people would take the,
Who gave you
people of color.
flack?
Oh my God, I went viral with this no tipping that we should stop tipping, and start paying people a living wage. Leave us alone already. We should hold employers' feet to the fire, and they should be if you can't afford to pay employees for your business, you can't afford to open your business.
And wait, people got mad at you about this?
People were like, well, we're not going to change. I was like, no, we should not be levying wages onto the consumer because it continues to perpetuate a system where the poor are turned on the poor are supporting the poor. And it's really time to, the model has gotten out of control. It stems from racism and sexism. Typically,
servers are women.
Servers were women and Black women. And it's archaic.
Yeah, I think we should do away tipping. We don't have to tip in Europe.
No.
Because they get a living wage, and that's nice.
They get a living wage.
And that's like the same thing when whenever I see people be like, oh, airplane seats should be bigger. And people are like, no, you should just lose weight. And I'm like, but you would be more comfortable in a bigger seat.
No, exactly. And I'm small, and they're too small.
Yes.
They're too small.
They're too tiny.
They're too small. It shouldn't fit me exact.
No, you're very small.
I'm very small. If something fits me exact, it's for children. It is for like I used to, when I was on this kid's job, I worked on Odd Squad for 3.5 years, which is a PBS show. We had the kid actors, they were like 13, 14, these boys. I was the same size 13, 14-year-old boys. So sometimes I would be a stand-in. I'm like, the stand-in's not here, Robby. That is a child.
Your love life might be messy, but your online security doesn't have to be. Whether you're swiping on apps, online shopping, or just trying to keep your business, NordVPN makes sure your data stays protected. With one click, NordVPN encrypts your internet connection and hides your IP address, so your data stays private. No more worrying about hackers, trackers, or even your internet provider snooping on what you do online. And with NordVPN's lightning-fast speeds, you won't even notice it's running in the background. Have you ever traveled and found out that your favorite show or dating app doesn't work in another country? NordVPN fixes all that. With over 72,000 servers in 118 countries, you can change your virtual location and access to the internet like you never left home. Plus, one NordVPN account protects up to 10 devices, so you can stay secure on your phone, laptop, tablet, whatever you use. And if you run into issues, their 24/7 customer service is there to help. Get the exclusive NordVPN deal now at nordvpn.com/dateme. Try risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/dateme. Stay safe and keep your business your business. You ever catch yourself thinking about food way too much? Maybe you stress over what to eat, feel out of control when you do, or get down on yourself about your body. Ugh, it's exhausting. And honestly, you don't have to live like that. If you're concerned that you might be dealing with an eating disorder or disordered eating, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a virtual evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps you heal your relationship with food and your body from the comfort of your home. Equip provides you with access to a team of experts that can include a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and a mentor who knows what you're going through. Their care is built around you, your life, your schedule, and what you actually need. Plus, there's no wait list. They take insurance and they work with people of all ages and backgrounds. So if any of this sounds familiar, or even if you just feel like food and body image take up too much of your mental space, you deserve support. If any of this resonates with you or someone you love, take the next step. To learn more about Equip's virtual eating disorder treatment, visit equip.health/dateme. That's equip.health/dateme. So, okay, you go on this first date to Mother Wolf. You have a delicious, expensive dinner. Did you drop her off? Did you go to a second location?
Yeah, so then I did that thing that I either saw it in Harry Met Sally or Annie Hall, one of these like early rom-coms where it was like you get the kiss out of the way.
Oh.
Right? So I was like, I went to the bathroom and I always remember that. Like I must have watched it when I was like also like 15, 16. And I'm like, you got the kiss out of the way. Okay. So I went to the bathroom. I paid. Here's another tip. If you're planning to pay, typically you have to pee or go to the bathroom right after the meal, but let them bring the bill first. You don't want to leave your date with the bill sitting on the thing and she felt like she had. So I don't care how badly I have to pee, because typically by then you've had a glass of wine, some water, lots of food.
You got to pay.
I wait. I put the check. I put the card. Then I go pee. That's what I do. So that's just a order
of events that need to happen.
Yeah, that okay. Yeah, because then it just looks bad if you come back and the bill's already there and she was like, no, and then sometimes I really enjoy the person. I did this on the second date. On the way to the bathroom, I give the card. Please cover this. And then that's very exciting. Oh,
you did it. Oh my God, how fancy.
Yeah. It'll make you feel good. It makes them feel good. Everybody's happy. And so I go to the bathroom. I come back. I said, okay, I paid up. We're good. What we're going to do is we're going to go in the car. We're going to kiss in the car.
You said this out loud.
Yeah. I said,
what we're going to do is we're going to
find a great song.
Okay.
We're going to kiss in the car. I have a ciggy. We'll share a ciggy. We'll share a ciggy. We'll sit in the car. If we like kissing, we can continue to kiss in the car. I can bring you home. We can kiss there. I can drop you off. Let's take it from there. We're going to get in the car. We're going to get our jackets. We're going to find a song. And then so then we get into the car. I was finding forever to find a song. And she didn't like my song. She's much better at music than me. I got
what
Lincoln.
Song did you pick?
I got like Lincoln Park. And
no!
I got like.
No!
Yeah. I have like whatever music I have. I don't know what I have. I have like 40 songs. Okay.
You don't have like Apple Music where you have like all the songs?
I have
or
Amazon
Spotify
Music.
Okay.
Which nobody
has that.
has. But I have it because my friend works at Amazon and gave me the sign in. But they're still in beta, I think. So they don't have all the tunes. It's not like they have the newest Billie Eilish. Like they're not up to speed over there.
Linkin Park.
So anyway, then I finally find a song. I don't even remember the song. But she was like, you have to kiss me already. By the time. Kiss, it was amazing. We ended up going back to her house. We're kissing, making out, the whole thing.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. And then I left at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm not overstaying. First of all, I've had a glass of wine. I'm not going to stay for another one. I'm driving. And then I go, you know what? It's 11 o'clock. I'm going. I'm taking it. We will plan next date. It'll be after tomorrow. It won't be tomorrow. It'll be after tomorrow.
Why did it have to be after tomorrow?
You need to digest. But I didn't want her to think, oh, we're not waiting weeks either.
Okay.
We have a connection. Let's go.
And how long has it been?
It's been a year and a half. Over a year and a half.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And we still, I love dating. We just went to Little Dom's yesterday.
What'd you get?
We got the white pasta with the peas and the cream.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
It's Pappardelle?
Yes.
I think.
That's
with,
exactly it. We got the rice
sausage.
balls.
Oh, I like the rice balls.
We got the carpaccio, the meat, the raw meat. I fuck with the raw meat. And we got like the gem salad.
If you go on Fridays, they have lasagna.
Yeah, well.
But you got to go early because they sell out.
It's the stress of these restaurants, guys. You can't be selling out of your product. I mean, this is... Does Apple run out of iPhones? I mean, what's going on?
They do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. I bought an iPhone once and they didn't have the color I wanted and I had to go back.
What color did you want?
I wanted pink. What? There's a case on it. You can't even see it. Well, now this is a white one because they didn't have.
I got a black phone, and look, it's basically blue. Oh, I don't know where it is. Oh, it's here. Isn't this blue?
That is blue. Why don't you have a case on that?
I don't fuck with the case.
Why?
I live life on the edge.
But what if you drop it and crack it?
Is what it is.
You'll just have a cracked fucking phone?
No. The thing is you get comfortable holding it. First of all, I've dropped it so many times that I feel like it's hardened it in.
That's
more.
not, no.
Okay, I do think it's smashed it together more. Okay. But.
Wait, that is a blue phone. That's not black.
You get better at, in the beginning, the first week that you have no case, you're but then you're actually, it's how it was intended. It's a piece of art, too, to me. This is how Steve Jobs would have wanted me to hold this.
I'm glad you're upholding his legacy.
I am. I think he would roll over if after he died, the first product they put out was this Apple Watch, which is basically an iPhone 3G on a strap.
Yeah.
Square and everything. He would roll over.
You don't think he had any involvement in that?
Yes, he would have waited 20 years, whatever it took, until it looked like this. If it didn't look like a regular watch, remember how and I've talked about this, but it's so important for people who are innovating and doing this. Remember when
people who are innovating. Yes,
people who work in tech. You're out there in tech, listen the fuck up. State of the art. That's technology and art. Marry them. Okay? He brought out the Apple MacBook Air in a manila envelope. Regular envelope. He's like, oh, the mail came in. Remember him? He comes out there. He goes, I wonder what's in this envelope. Takes out thinnest paper. Goes, we were all. What? It was like, okay, he would have done this shit with this. Let's say the watch was ready. He wouldn't have rushed it. He would have been strapping on his watch, buckling it on. He would have been it's live. It would have been it would have been like him getting dressed, putting on his watch, and it would have looked like a watch. Thin and regular watch after. It wouldn't be like the TV that is it art. No, you would have thought it was a watch. And it's still a square. Can you imagine that Apple is still putting out the Apple Watch and it's a bubbly square? A watch. There's never been a watch shaped like that. There's been the square, there's been the tank, there's been the Cartier. Not the rounded edge square. It looks like no other watch because it is not a watch. It is a mini iPhone on a fucking strap that nobody cares you could swap out.
I tried to wear one for the longest time. I didn't like it.
No.
It doesn't look right.
No.
I even put a little, a chainy kind of band on it. It just didn't look right.
It does not look right because it isn't right. If it doesn't look right, if it doesn't smell right, something's off. Something's off. It should just be a watch. We're still not as we never think somebody's wearing a watch. We think they're wearing an Apple Watch, which is not a watch.
It's not a watch.
It saddens me that he would, he would see such a product with his, there's no way he would have put that out. But anyway.
Robby?
Somber note to end on, but.
No, we're going to bring it back up. Do you have any advice for single people?
I do.
Okay.
This is actually, I think we've overcomplicated dating. There's so many options, there's so many things, and there's a simple equation that we're forgetting. And it applies to everyone.
Okay.
Okay, and this is a new theory that I've developed, so it's, bear with me, Nicole.
How new?
This is the first time I'm telling you.
Ooh.
Okay? I think per every relationship, per every relationship. You need one hot person.
Okay.
One smart. How you divvy it up, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
It's a simple equation. One hot, one smart. How you divvy it. You need 100 in both, though. You need 100. Okay. The classic example we see of this, okay, typically you see the older smart guy, the older smart gentleman.
Yes.
With like a young hot thing. Beautiful. It's a classic. We love it. That's like slipping into a pair of Calvins. Okay. Americans are never going to get over that duo. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. But you ever see like an Abercrombie pretty boy type with like a bookish, maybe glasses wearing girl?
Not really.
A Walk to Remember? Was that a fucking movie?
It was.
That shit works too.
Okay.
We don't see it as much, but it works.
Okay.
This shit works. Right? One hot, one smart. Who picks what? I don't give a shit. Even in my relationship, people think in my relationship, Gabby's 100% the smart circle, right? And I'm, the Gabby's 100% the hot circle. I'm 100% the smart circle. No. Right? People assume Gabby's the hot, right? Now, I happen to be a little bit of a cutie.
Yes.
So I give myself 10% in that circle. I'm contributing.
Yes.
I'm giving her 90 still.
Yes.
There's no question she's got 90 there. But I've topped this off. So we have 100 in that. Okay. Now on the smart circle, people assume it's me. No. Gabby was an ICU nurse for 8 years, basically a fucking doctor through COVID. Okay. We share the smarts 50-50. Okay. It is one hot, one smart. How you divvy it, I don't care, right? Two hot. Let's say, as an example, you're into looks only. You're swiping hot. Too hot. It can never work. Look at Hollywood. It's a disaster. J-Lo and Ben, how many times are going to try before they realize it's not going to happen? They're missing a whole fucking circle. J-Lo and Ben can never be. They're missing a circle.
So who do you think J-Lo should be with?
She needs smart.
You don't think Ben Affleck's smart?
I think together they're both leaving with hot.
Okay.
So the circle is too much. They probably have 150 and they're in a deficit on the smart circle.
Okay.
Because they're not idiots.
No.
Okay, but something's not working. And it's time to take a hard look. Okay, but sometimes you have two smarts. That's two uggos. You don't want that either. You got to be careful. That's why you need the hot too. Like it is as important. Both are as important. But some people are only swiping hot when they might have some hots. And I'm like, but you're bringing 70% hot. Why are you looking at 100% hot? Your smart circle's at 30%.
I think you actually might be onto something.
You just need to, one smart. How you divvy it, I don't care. Just get to that number. 100 in both.
I think that's good advice, Robby.
You'll see hot girls looking for hot guys, and you'll see hot guys looking for hot girls. And I'm like, what? We're missing circles.
We're missing the smart circle.
And sometimes you see smart people only going for smart, and and they're wondering why they need to be hung from a, they're doing all the weird kink, whatever. It's like something's going on, guys.
But maybe
they're overthinking it because they don't have the natural hots. They're not coming with the natural hot. They have to overthink it with swings and everything else.
But maybe some people like swings,
and that's
Robby.
also true. That's also true. Doesn't mean if you're hot, you can't do it. I'm just saying you'll notice that more of that stuff happens in those circles because they're overthinking it. Because they have to bring out, it's like somebody naturally, right? We have to know what we are. Like if I know I'm probably at a 30-70. What's your circle? Where are you standing with hot and smart? What do you need? If you're a girl and you're bringing both, you have 50% you're hot, 50% you're smart. We need that match.
I think I might be 50-50.
That's important.
Or maybe I'm like 60-40. I think I'm 60 hot, 40 smart.
Well, here's why I would give you 50-50, because comedy is so brilliant.
Okay, I'm 50-50.
Here's the thing with comedy. Comedy takes sarcasm, anything with like a nuance or a deeper level or a double entendre or double meaning, I find is like inherently smart. So comedy's a fun one because yeah, I think comedians immediately, if they're doing well, they contribute a little bit more sometimes on the smart.
Okay.
And so we don't need to do as much as the other. Now, do not come to me and you're not doing nothing else. If you know what I mean? So if you need to be lifting at the smarts department, you got to get, if you're not bringing the smarts, definitely bring the 6-pack. Definitely. Please, sir. I see these girls with these guys. I'm like, you're bringing everything? He's brought you nothing.
I really do think you're on to something.
It's a simple equation. One hot, one smart. How you divvy it up, I don't give a fuck.
Robby, I ask all my guests this. Is there anything you want to promote?
Yes, the Too Far pod, which we're finally recording. I mean, by the time it's February, who knows? Maybe it blew up. We don't know if it's combusted, if I'm Patreon only, or where the hell I am.
Who knows?
Too Far pod, New York Times calls addictive, will be back. I'm also going to be on TV screens by this point. So maybe you'll know me a little bit more. Maybe you won't like me as much. Maybe you will. Okay, acting, give it a chance. It's like stand-up. I've been doing it for acting. I'm really getting better at. And you're going to see with every project. Oh, yeah, she really is. And then for nudes or anything else, you can follow me on Instagram at Robby Hoffman. There's a couple of projects.
I want to know.
I'll tell you in private. Okay. Isn't that cool to say? I can't talk about it here.
Would you date me?
I would date you in a heartbeat.
Robby, thank you.
Yeah, who are you dating now? Do you talk about that on the podcast?
I have. I am dating someone right now, and they're very sweet.
Is it they, them?
No.
No. Why'd you say they're very sweet?
I don't know. Because you can. He's a he.
Okay, there we go. We like to know what he's backing. You know what I mean? Tell me when to stop. Wow.
Where'd you start? No, I can't do that.
Okay.
If you like this episode of Why Won't You Date Me, you can like it, you can rate it, you can subscribe, you can give me 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you write me something nasty hitting on me to whywon'tyoudate.me@gmail.com, I will read it. We are running low, so please submit them. This is from the heart. Nicole made nachos, her favorite treat, with loads of cum instead of cheese, piled high and complete. She sprinkled it thick, so melty and yum. Nicole was soon covered in mountains of cum. With each chip she dipped, the cum stretched wide.
Why are they doing this?
Because I asked for it.
Why? Jesus.
Because I like to be hit on. Stringy and gooey on every side. So if you see Nicole looking cummy and bright, she's been snacking on cum nachos all through the night. This is a poem. The cum came from me, didn't you see? Nicole loves cum. Yes, sirree. Love, Carson. Thank you, Carson. Thank you, Rob. Oh.
Thank you, Carson. Thanks, Nicole. You know I fucking love you. And if I ever got invited to your house, I'd bring flowers, a plant, or steak and salad, whatever you want.
I want steak and salad.
Okay, I'll do it. You can talk to Tolov. You know Steph Tolov?
Yes.
When I make our steak frite with a salad, it's the one meal I make. It's excellent. Montreal steak spice.
Steak spice?
Yeah, Montreal is very known for their steak.
Oh.
Well, I guess a lot of places are. We need to calm down.
I didn't know that Montreal was known for steak.
Yeah. Meat in general, smoked meat.
Wait, really? Is this true?
Oh, yeah, Montreal smoked meat.
I don't know why I'm asking you like you didn't live in Canada.
Yeah, no, literally. Jesus. People doubt me. I don't know why.
Bye!
That was a HeadGum podcast.